We looked at 10 of the most popular clothing brands for curvy and plus-size women in the United States. But instead of judging them by flashy marketing, social media hype, or celebrity endorsements, we focused on something much more important. What do you actually get for the money you spend? We compared fabric quality, construction, sizing consistency, fit, comfort, and most importantly, whether these brands truly understand how to design for a curvy body, or if they're simply making smaller designs in larger sizes. The results were surprising. Some of the biggest names in plus-size fashion landed much lower than expected, while a few brands that rarely make headlines consistently delivered better quality, better fit, and better value. If you're tired of buying clothes that look great online but disappoint the moment you try them on, this ranking could save you both money and frustration. And be sure to stay until the end, because the number one brand isn't the most expensive or the most talked about, but it may be the one that completely changes the way you shop for clothes. Before we get into the ranking, one thing needs to be clear. This is not a list of the prettiest brands, and it is not a list of brands that will work for every single woman. Every body is different. Every woman has her own height, proportions, curves, and personal style. What we wanted to know was simple. Which brands give curvy and plus-size women the best real value? To answer that, we judged each brand by the same 6 standards. First, fit, because even the most beautiful piece is not worth much if you constantly have to adjust it. Second, how flattering the design is on a curvy body. Third, fabric quality and construction. Fourth, sizing consistency, because no woman wants to guess her size every time she shops. Fifth, value for the money. And finally, the overall feeling you get when you actually wear the clothes. Because a great outfit should not just fit your body. It should help you feel more polished, more confident, and more like yourself. With that in mind, let's start at number 10, a very familiar brand that offers plenty of options but does not always deliver the value many shoppers expect. Coming in at number 10 is Old Navy. It's one of the most accessible clothing brands in America, and for many curvy women, it's often the first place they shop. The prices are affordable, the size range is generous, and there are almost always sales happening. If you're looking for basic t-shirts, casual jeans, or everyday essentials without spending a fortune, Old Navy certainly has its appeal. But when we looked beyond the price tag, several weaknesses became hard to ignore. The biggest issue is consistency. One pair of jeans may fit beautifully, while another in the exact same size feels completely different. That kind of inconsistency can make online shopping frustrating and unpredictable. Fabric quality is another concern. Some pieces hold up well, but others lose their shape, fade, or feel worn much sooner than expected. More importantly, many of the designs still feel like they were simply scaled up from smaller sizes, rather than thoughtfully created for a curvier body. If you're shopping on a budget, Old Navy can still be a practical choice. But if you're looking for clothing that flatters your shape, lasts longer, and feels like it was truly designed with curves in mind, there are stronger options ahead. And the next brand proves that focusing on plus-size fashion alone doesn't automatically guarantee a better experience. At number 9 is Avenue, a brand that has served the plus-size community for decades and built a loyal customer base along the way. One thing Avenue deserves credit for is understanding that curvy women need more than just larger sizes. The brand offers extended sizing, multiple inseam options, and comfortable everyday pieces designed with real-life wear in mind. If comfort is your top priority, Avenue still has plenty to offer. But when compared with the brands higher on this list, its weaknesses become more noticeable. Many of the collections feel overly safe and somewhat dated, making them less appealing to women who want a wardrobe that feels modern, polished, and stylish. Instead of highlighting natural curves, some silhouettes can appear boxy or oversized, creating extra visual bulk rather than balance. The overall quality is respectable, but the fabrics often lack the soft drape and refined finish that help clothing look more elevated. That doesn't mean Avenue is a bad brand. If you're looking for dependable basics or comfortable everyday outfits, it can still be a solid option. However, if your goal is to build a wardrobe that feels feminine, flattering, and effortlessly elegant, there are several brands that do a much better job. And the next brand is one of the most recognizable names in plus-size fashion, yet it's also one of the most debated among shoppers. At number 8 is Ashley Stewart, a brand that has built its reputation around bold, confident fashion for curvy and plus-size women. Unlike many brands that play it safe, Ashley Stewart embraces vibrant colors, eye-catching prints, and body-conscious silhouettes that encourage women to celebrate their curves rather than hide them. If you enjoy making a statement with your wardrobe, you'll probably find plenty to love here. The brand has never been afraid to offer pieces that feel fun, expressive, and full of personality. However, that same approach is also where some of its biggest weaknesses begin to show. Many collections are heavily trend-driven, which means some pieces can feel dated after only a season or two. While that's perfectly fine if you enjoy refreshing your wardrobe often, it may not be the best investment if you're looking for timeless staples you'll wear for years. Quality can also vary more than we'd like. Some garments feel surprisingly well made for the price, while others leave you questioning whether you're paying more for the design than the craftsmanship. If your style is bold, colorful, and fashion-forward, Ashley Stewart can absolutely be worth exploring. But if you're building a wardrobe centered around versatility, long-term value, and effortless elegance, there are several brands still ahead that deliver a more consistent experience. And the next brand is one that millions of women already shop at, largely because it's convenient and affordable. The question is whether convenience alone is enough to earn a higher spot on this list. Coming in at number 7 is Ava Viv, Target's dedicated plus-size line. For many women, this brand strikes a nice balance between affordability, accessibility, and everyday style. You can walk into almost any Target, browse the racks, try things on, and leave with a few new pieces without stretching your budget. Over the past few years, Ava Viv has also made noticeable improvements in both fit and design, offering more modern silhouettes that feel less like oversized basics and more like clothing created with curvy women in mind. That's a step in the right direction. The challenge, however, is consistency. One season may introduce beautifully cut dresses, flattering denim, and well-made knitwear, while the next can feel noticeably less refined. Fabric quality, construction, and overall fit tend to vary more than they should, making the shopping experience somewhat unpredictable. It's not uncommon to find one piece that quickly becomes a wardrobe favorite and another that feels disappointing after only a few wears. Still, if you take your time and focus on the brand's simpler, more classic pieces, Ava Viv can offer excellent value for the price. It's a solid choice for building the foundation of an everyday wardrobe. But from this point forward, the brands on our list begin to separate themselves in a much bigger way. They don't just make clothes in larger sizes. They design with curves in mind from the very beginning, and that difference becomes obvious the moment you put the clothes on. At number 6 is Bryant, one of the most established names in plus-size fashion. For decades, it has been a trusted destination for women looking for clothing that actually fits a curvier body. While many mainstream brands only expanded their size charts, Bryant built much of its business around serving plus-size women from the very beginning. That experience shows in several areas. Sizing is generally more consistent than many competitors, the fit tends to be reliable, and categories like denim, workwear, and especially intimates continue to receive strong reviews year after year. If you've ever struggled to find supportive bras or well-fitting dress pants, there's a good chance Bryant has been recommended to you more than once. But despite those strengths, the brand doesn't quite break into our top 5. One reason is that many of its collections still feel a bit too conservative. While the quality is dependable, the designs sometimes lack the fresh, modern styling that many women are looking for today. Another factor is price. At full retail, some pieces simply don't offer enough value compared to what other brands now provide. That's why many loyal shoppers wait for sales before making a purchase. Bryant remains a dependable choice if your priorities are comfort, fit, and reliability. But the brands ahead manage to combine those qualities with more refined design, better fabrics, and a stronger sense of modern style. And the next brand is one that completely changed the way many curvy women think about everyday fashion, proving that practical clothing can still feel stylish, feminine, and confidence-boosting. Breaking into the top 5 is Torrid, a brand that has become a favorite among countless curvy and plus-size women for one simple reason. It was built with curves in mind, not as an afterthought. The difference becomes obvious the moment you try the clothes on. Instead of simply making garments bigger, Torrid pays close attention to proportions, creating pieces that work with your shape rather than against it. Their jeans are especially well known for providing stretch where it's needed while still maintaining structure, and many of their dresses and tops are designed to define the waist without feeling restrictive. Torrid also offers an impressive variety of styles, making it easy to shop for everything from casual weekends to office wear and special occasions. That versatility is one of the brand's biggest strengths. The downside is the price. At full retail, many pieces feel expensive, especially when compared with brands offering similar styles. Quality can also vary slightly between collections, which is why many experienced Torrid shoppers wait for seasonal sales before stocking up. Even with those drawbacks, Torrid consistently delivers a better fit and a more flattering silhouette than most brands in this price range. It's easy to understand why so many women keep coming back. But as good as Torrid is, the next 4 brands raise the bar even higher by combining thoughtful design with premium construction and a level of consistency that's much harder to find. At number 4 is Universal Standard, a brand that has completely redefined what inclusive fashion can look like. While many companies simply expanded their size charts, Universal Standard took a different approach. Every collection starts with the belief that great design should work across a full range of body sizes, not just be adjusted after the fact. That philosophy is reflected in almost every piece they make. The fit feels intentional, the proportions are carefully balanced, and the garments move naturally with the body instead of fighting against it. Another area where Universal Standard stands out is quality. The fabrics feel noticeably more premium than many competitors, the construction is consistently excellent, and the clothes are designed to maintain their shape even after repeated wear and washing. Rather than chasing short-lived trends, the brand focuses on timeless essentials that can become the foundation of a long-lasting wardrobe. Of course, that level of quality comes at a price. Universal Standard is one of the more expensive brands on this list, and if you're shopping on a tight budget, the investment may feel difficult to justify. But for women who value longevity over quantity, the cost often makes more sense over time. This is a brand that encourages you to buy fewer pieces but wear them far more often. That's why it earns such a strong position in our ranking. Still, there are 3 brands that manage to combine exceptional fit with even greater overall value. And the next one has quietly become one of the best-kept secrets among women who want polished, sophisticated style without sacrificing comfort. Breaking into the top 3 is ELOQUII, a brand that has earned a loyal following by proving that plus-size fashion can be just as modern, sophisticated, and fashion-forward as any other collection on the market. Instead of relying on oversized silhouettes or overly simple basics, ELOQUII focuses on clean tailoring, balanced proportions, and designs that highlight natural curves with confidence. Blazers, dresses, trousers, and workwear are where the brand truly shines. Many pieces feel polished enough for the office while still looking stylish enough for dinner, events, or special occasions. It's a brand that understands women don't want to choose between flattering and fashionable. They want both. One of ELOQUII's greatest strengths is its attention to structure. Well-placed seams, defined waistlines, and thoughtful cuts help create a balanced silhouette without making the clothing feel restrictive. That said, the brand isn't perfect. Prices are on the higher side, and some collections lean heavily into seasonal trends, which means not every piece will remain a wardrobe favorite for years to come. If your goal is to build a timeless capsule wardrobe, you'll probably want to choose carefully rather than buying everything that catches your eye. Even so, ELOQUII consistently delivers an elevated shopping experience and some of the most flattering designs available for curvy women today. But the 2 brands still ahead manage to combine exceptional design with even greater consistency, making them the ones we would recommend first to women who want to invest wisely in their wardrobe. At number 2 is Talbots Woman, a brand that has quietly built one of the strongest reputations among women who value timeless style over fast fashion. It may not dominate social media feeds or chase every seasonal trend, but that's exactly what makes it stand out. Talbots focuses on creating clothing that looks just as elegant 5 years from now as it does today. If your goal is to build a wardrobe filled with versatile, well-made pieces that you'll reach for again and again, this brand deserves serious attention. One of Talbot's biggest strengths is consistency. The fabrics feel refined, the tailoring is dependable, and the sizing remains remarkably reliable across different collections. Instead of relying on flashy details, the brand lets quality materials and thoughtful construction do the work. Many of the jackets, dresses, trousers, and knitwear create a clean, balanced silhouette that flatters curves without trying to hide them. That subtle approach is exactly why so many women over 50 continue to return to the brand year after year. Of course, Talbots isn't designed for everyone. If you love bold prints, trend-driven fashion, or statement pieces, you may find some collections a little too classic. The prices also sit above the average, but unlike many premium brands, the quality generally supports the investment. Talbots proves that true elegance isn't about following trends. It's about wearing clothes that fit beautifully, feel comfortable, and never go out of style. Even so, one brand still manages to outperform it by delivering exceptional fit, outstanding quality, and a design philosophy that truly puts curvy women first. Taking the number 1 spot is Universal Standard. It may not be the brand with the biggest advertising budget or the strongest social media presence, but when it comes to designing clothing that truly works for curvy and plus-size women, few brands come close. What sets Universal Standard apart isn't one standout product. It's the consistency of the entire experience. From the moment you put on one of their pieces, you can tell the garments were designed with real body proportions in mind, not simply enlarged from a smaller pattern. The fit feels intentional, the balance feels natural, and instead of trying to disguise your shape, the clothing works with it, creating clean lines and an effortlessly polished silhouette. The quality is equally impressive. Fabrics feel substantial without being heavy, construction is consistently well executed, and the garments are made to hold their shape over time. These aren't the kind of clothes you wear for one season and forget. They're investment pieces designed to become the foundation of your wardrobe for years to come. Yes, Universal Standard comes with a higher price tag, but in this case, the value is easy to understand. Better materials, better construction, and better fit often mean replacing clothes less frequently and feeling more confident every time you get dressed. More importantly, the brand never approaches plus-size fashion as a compromise. It doesn't ask women to hide their curves or settle for oversized basics. Instead, it proves that great design can celebrate every body shape with confidence, elegance, and simplicity. That's why Universal Standard earns our #1 spot. If you're looking for a brand that consistently delivers quality, flattering fit, and timeless style, this is the one we'd recommend first. One thing became very clear while putting this ranking together. The best clothing brand isn't always the one with the loudest marketing, the biggest stores, or the highest price tag. What truly matters is how well a brand understands the women it's designing for. The right fit can completely change the way a garment looks, the way it feels, and even the way you see yourself in the mirror. That's why building a great wardrobe isn't about buying more clothes. It's about choosing better ones. We hope this ranking helps you shop with a little more confidence and maybe even discover a brand you haven't considered before. Of course, every woman has her own preferences, and that's exactly what makes personal style so unique. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these brands has given you the best experience? Is there another plus-size brand you think deserves a place on this list? Share your thoughts in the comments below.